Well, hello, COMM 100. Let me just say thank you. The speeches this time, in almost every case, if a speech was turned in, it showed some improvement. And for some, it was dramatic. There were a couple of fatal errors in a couple, but overall, compared to the first speech, much better. It shows that you're learning some things, that things are going better than they have been in the past. So let's get to this and try to move through it as quickly as we can. Rose, your speech was interesting. There was too much room noise, however, and there was no indication that your audience didn't just come by the camera and leave to go about taking care of their business. You want to be careful of that. You referred to something about 6 pumps of what? I either couldn't understand or you dropped your voice or something. A lot of close-up detail in what you were presenting that was not seen. You can't talk about fine things and then me not be able to see it, and that's kind of hard when you're doing a static shot on something. There was an interesting topic there, and it was pretty well presented. You need to establish your credibility. Just wearing an apron does not establish who you are, what your expertise is, or why you're giving that particular speech. And this is a problem for a lot of speeches this time. Establish your credibility. Why are you talking about this topic? Rose, you want to be careful with words. You're dropping the eng or ing endings. Gettin', lookin', gonna, usin', makin', turnin'. And then watch the they were going to that kind of stuff. Watch those kinds of things. You talked about spray it with something. I never could understand what it is that you were talking about. And you talked about rot on it. Now, I know we're from South Central Indiana, but when you are talking about write on it, you want to make sure you don't say rot on it. R-O-T instead of W-R-I-T-E. Again, watch the ahs and the ems, and overall, that's kind of your critique. Moving on to Gopher. Gopher, let me just say, if you observe the problem that you had with your speech, why did you send it that way? You talked about you were going to try to correct it, but you didn't talk about why you did it that way in the first place. And this is all in communication and not part of the speech. If I just look at the speech, you know, it's tough. Again, establish your credibility. Why was your Why was your video horizontal instead of vertical? Watch the ums, the ahs, the you knows. You just squeaked in on the minimum length. There's a clicking sound in the background while you're talking. Watch that. Work on eye contact with the camera. Adjust the composition from just above the head to the bust line. A little more difficult when you're horizontal, but way too much. And then when you're horizontal, you want to make sure you don't have not enough room. In other words, if the picture's like this, you're not framing it up properly. Frame yourself up in the lens, even if it's horizontal. But don't send horizontal images to me anymore. At times, because of that, there were times when you almost disappeared out of the composition of the picture. The topic was valuable. The presentation was somewhat interesting, but you've got to figure out what you did wrong and then fix that. Jeremy, excellent topic, well done, and let me just say, at this point in the class, I never, ever have given a perfect score on a speech. Your speech was perfect. You got maximum points in this speech. Watch your grammar just a little bit. Get the camera on a tripod or something, a rung of a ladder, so it's just a little bouncy. It's such a good speech, so well done that now I'm being picky. Watch terms like compass and FAFSA and GED. You know what that is. Your audience doesn't necessarily know. When you use those terms, you might have to quickly say briefly what it stands for. But your speech was so good in so many ways, and it was so right on topic, and the delivery and the expertise that you established for yourself was just perfect. I'll tell you what, I'm sending it to people here so they can see your speech is a classic example of what we ought to be doing to show in the topic area you were speaking in what people need to know. I could be picky, but your purpose was more than accomplished in the speech. You were conversational to the nth degree. You were real. You were sincere. You were convincing, and most of all, you were motivational. You did what is the equivalent of a speech that ought to be a TV commercial for the college. I can't say, Jeremy, any more nice things than what I've already said, because I have established that it's as near perfect as you could possibly do. I don't know how you're going to build on it, but keep practicing and keep doing what you did. Everything about your speech was right on, and I just can't say enough about it. I've told all my colleagues here about it. I'm going to be telling the colleagues where you are about it, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more. But class Jeremy, fantasy name Jeremy, did the perfect speech. Way to go. We'll stop here, and we'll pick up after this one with some more critiques.